plus those too, man. Shit, if I get knocked out, shit, if something happens to me, fuck, got bills to pay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, welcome to the spot where the mics are hot. Every word we drop got flow like a shot. Got stories to tell and jokes that hit hard. Come join the fun, it's a brand new yard. We bring the vibes, the beats won't stop. Tune in now, we rise to the top. Laugh, cry, shout, feel every drop. This podcast here is cream of the crop.
All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode to the R to the J podcast. And if you like what we're doing over here, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. It sure helps the channel grow. And especially if you like our guests, make sure you like it so that way they could know that you like them. But with that being said, today's special guest is Ernesto. Ernesto is with Titan Boxing. How you doing, Ernesto?
Doing fine. And yourself?
Pretty good, man. I appreciate you coming, man.
Thank you for inviting me.
Your word on you, man. You say I told you to be here like around 7 Friday. You're here for 7 Friday, man.
I'm a man of the word. You know, it's also especially for as a business student. You know,
Yeah.
get the word into it.
Oh, you've been doing business?
Yeah.
Okay. Lamar?
Lamar, yes.
University or college? University. Okay. How much longer you have?
I got one more year.
Oh man, good luck on that, man.
Yeah.
I know how it gets tough, especially senior year.
Especially, yeah.
Yeah, I know. But I wanted to bring you in here because I know last time we kind of talked. You said that I went to that little boxing match you guys do over there, and like I've been telling some of my people that I kind of know that, man, I didn't even know they had that. Well, I kind of knew a little bit about you guys, but then I told them that it was really fun, and I'm hoping that it'll grow more.
Yeah, I mean, it's a boxing event we do probably twice a month or once in a while. It's basically get these kids out to get to know them really well, because you know there's a lot of kids that got talent, but people doesn't know who they are and why are they boxing. You know, they're just really out there for the bread.
Yeah.
And for these kids to be showing their skills in these type of events, you know, maybe might be short people, and but at the end of the day, they're getting that experience out until once they get to the real events, like you know, for a real competition, they go into the record. They're not getting they get the icebreaker out, because majority of the times, a lot of these boxers, they get scared in the first fight. The real.
Oh, trust me, I could imagine me. I'm about to be 44, right?
Right.
I could imagine if that was my first fight, I'll be nervous as well too.
Oh yeah, that's how it was at first when I started boxing.
Oh really?
Yeah, when my first fight, official fight, you just surrounded with a lot of people you don't even know.
Yeah.
And the arena's packed, and then you're like, you just freezes when the bell rings. You just freezes. So that's what we're trying to do.
Oh shit! What did I get myself into?
Yeah, basically in this situation. Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. So what? Did you win or what?
Yeah, I won.
Oh, you won? Okay, that's good. You knocked them out? Or did you go all the way around? Okay.
Yeah.
How many rounds was it?
It's only 3 rounds. In the amateurs, it's 3 rounds.
Okay, 3 rounds. Like, is it 3 minutes?
Well, at that time, I was 10, so they go for a minute. So, yeah.
10 minutes?
1 minute.
1 minute. Okay. I was about to say 10 minutes. Like, man, you got a lot of stamina, boy.
Nah.
Yeah, but tell the audience a little about yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. My name is Ernesto Flores. I am the president and the team principal for Titans Boxing Club and Youth Organization. We're a 501c3 nonprofit organization located here in Port Arthur. What we do is basically we take these kids out of the streets, take them away from drugs, stay away from violence, and stay away from the gangs. You know, keep them disciplined through the sport of boxing. You know, keep them up with their education, and keep them up for to get them a good path in life, because you know there's a lot of going on today.
Yeah, especially if you don't got nothing to do,
Yeah.
you could fall into bad habits and things, or bad friends as well too.
Yeah, that's the worst thing that's going on here, and especially in Port Arthur too. Well, all over Southeast Texas too, because you know, what I always tell people is that you know, without the kids, there's no future. So,
Yeah, that's true.
And that's our mission. You know, keep these kids into a good path. You know, either they might go pro in boxing or go to college and get a successful life, because I don't want these kids to just be harmed, you know, and go to the wrong path, because there's people out there, they talk but don't do nothing about it, but we do the things.
Yeah.
So yeah,
There's one thing. I have a son. He's 21 years old, right? Me and his mom were not together, but I told her I want to make sure that he was into some sports, so she got him in the doing soccer, football as well too. Just kept them really busy. You know what I mean? But I told her too. That's some things I wish I would. Somebody would have kind of pushed me to at least try.
Right.
And that's one thing I regret when I was younger. I didn't. I was kind of lazy back when I was younger, literally lazy. So yeah, that's sort of like let him just try it out, see if he likes it, enjoys it. That way he won't have no regrets.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people out there, they think they're probably like 24, 23, or the mid 20s or the early 30s. They'd be like, hey, am I too late? They're never too late to start boxing because there's a lot of world champions out there that started late.
Mm-hmm.
Like Sergio Martinez, he started when he was 28.
Yeah. Like I said, I went to you guys' event last Saturday, right?
Yeah.
And there was actually an old gentleman there, right?
Yeah.
But he, man, I ain't gonna lie, he had some footwork right there. You know,
Oh, yeah.
he had some skills.
Yeah. The one guy who won the knockout?
I don't think he got knocked out.
No.
Yeah, I think it was the last match.
Oh, the last match. Yeah, these two guys, they were used to be pro fighters.
Oh, really?
Yeah, these guys were pro fighters. They retired. They got families now. They got their own gyms too.
Mm.
And it'd be like, it'd be funny if two coaches that we know fight against each other.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, and they do it for the show. This is their second time doing this.
Okay.
So, the first time it got a little bit more excitement than the last time.
Uh-huh.
But these two guys, they used to be pro. One of them is named Jose Gonzalez. He was the former WBC Continental Champion.
Oh, okay.
And then we have another one. He was a local fighter here in Southeast Texas, Dave Loomis. They were both great fighters and great coaches too.
So we'll call it. So you're saying I still have a chance?
Yeah, you got a chance. Everybody got a chance.
Yeah. Luckily, the only thing that will probably slow me down is my knee. I have knee issues, so I know you need to twist a little bit, so I already know it's gonna slow me down there. But yeah, you know who I really enjoy watching? The little kid. I think his name is Milton.
Oh, Milton.
Yeah. Boy, he had a lot of energy and he was just funny. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, he's he's basically like a little mascot for the gym. He's out there energized. I wish he can put that much effort when it comes to training camp. Yeah, but he does have a lot of energy. He does goof around a lot, but he does bring the show.
He's a showboat, whatever.
Yeah, he showboats a lot, but he does bring the show.
Yeah.
This is not the first time he does it. He does it every time we go sparring at our own gym or where we go different places to spar.
Mm-hmm.
Short boats, but at least give us a show. He might be taking the punches, but he's giving a show.
Yeah. You guys even had a girl boxing, right?
Yeah.
Alejandra, why was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. She was pretty good too. You know what I mean? I give her a lot of props too.
Yeah, she just started. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think she started probably 4 or 6 months ago.
Okay.
So she's in there, and we have a lot of female fighters too, but they didn't box that day.
Oh.
So, but that's one of our goals. To have a lot of more female fighters because right now the female boxing is dying at this point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could imagine. Hey, girls ain't gonna want to get hit. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. We have one. She's a Golden Glove champion, and she's a Texas women's champion. So she's only 10 at this point. Yeah, she's 10 only.
Okay.
And those 2 fights, she won those championships.
Mm-hmm. Damn, impressive. But yeah. So what did you do actually before this? How old are you though?
I'm 24.
24. Oh man, you still young, man.
Yeah.
Man, I feel old, man.
Yeah,
But that's good, man. Like I like seeing young generations, just just doing things,
yeah. I mean, well, before starting doing this nonprofit thing, of course, I be boxing. I used to box.
Mm-hmm.
My dad used put me in the gym. When I first started, it was Lionhearted. Lionhearted Boxing Academy.
What was that at?
It was here in Port Arthur.
Oh, really?
But fortunately, they had to close it down because the owner had cancer. So that's when we had to open our own. But I've been fighting for at least about 10 to 12 years now.
Oh, really? Okay.
10 to 12 years now. I kind of stopped. Sometimes your body just wears out, or sometimes you feel the passion of it, but then it just let out because you be boxing, fighting every day.
I think for me, even though I'm older, it probably excite me just because it's something different.
Yeah.
So how much so how do you guys work? Like, do you guys get people just to come in to box, or is it like a fee, or was a monthly fee, or how's that work?
Yeah, we do a monthly fee. We charge 120 a month. Sometimes people be like 120. I'm like, well, I mean, there's Planet Fitness, there's like $5 a month, but we're like the most cheapest one because if they go to a Houston boxing gym, they charge you like 120 per session. But we
Yeah.
charge a month.
Yeah. And how many sessions do you guys have a week?
We open Monday to Thursday for now
Mhm.
because it's because a lot of times in the weekends a lot of the kids don't show up, so like this is the weekend. So
Yeah, it's the weekend. Yeah.
unless they're competing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But everything else, we open Monday to Thursdays. We have 2 sessions. One of them for the kids,
Mhm.
and then the other one for adults.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you go there, you pay that fee. You probably go at least once a week, probably.
You can go as many you want.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You can go out there and probably use the equipment or
Yeah, you
whatever,
can use
just
it.
bags or
Yeah.
whatever, and get some little tips or whatever.
Yeah.
Or you can see other people techniques. And
Techniques,
stuff.
yeah. That's what we do.
And I've been thinking about doing something like that because just to like sometimes when you go to the gym, you get bored.
Yeah.
Just doing same repetition,
Oh no, not a boxing, because you be creative with your punches. You be creative with it because instead of throwing 1-2 every time, you can throw like as much punches as you want, and there's different routines in boxing because people think like, oh, you're just punching the bag and that's it. No, you're either sparring, you're either doing mitts, you're either doing cardio, you're doing strength conditioning. There's different routines in boxing.
Okay. So when you start boxing, do you always heard the Rocket song in the background and you hit it?
Yeah.
It's a good song, It goes.
It's a good song. It is a good song. If it wasn't for my dad, he'd be playing this 24/7.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
He'd be playing it 24/7. I think you might heard it multiple times during that show on that Saturday.
Man, you know what? I was so focused into the boxing or whatever that I was even paying attention to the music, which means it's good. I mean, that means I was
that's the
actually
thing, yeah.
focused on the fight or whatever. I know, and we talked. The reason I went there is because Jimmy P had invited me.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'll go and check it out. I never been to it, so let me check it out and see how it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's not one of those big events that we host. The big events that we usually host every year, but unfortunately not this year.
Mhm.
We never got a date from USA Boxing.
Mhm.
But every year we do these USA Boxing sanction events. In these events, we get fighters from all over Texas, Louisiana, to come here in Port Arthur to fight. To showcase the community of Port Arthur or Southeast Texas the skills they got, and they win for a belt. And these kids, they go for it. They go for it. We got kids from 8 years old fighting till a 32-year-old man. That's how good our shows are because
Okay.
we don't do these mismatch fights. We do these great matches because we want a good show
Mhm.
for people, and let these kids or boxers showcase the skills. So
Yeah.
they're big events. We usually have about like 40 fights a night.
Oh wow.
Yeah, 40 fights.
Man, you guys, it's a lot right there.
Yeah.
And sometimes those boxers will actually fight multiple times a night, right?
No, one time.
Oh, just one
In
time.
those USA boxing sanction events, no, they only fight one time.
Oh, okay.
Unless if it's a tournament, they fight one day, then the next day, and so on.
Mm.
And so on.
Gotcha.
But in those sparring events, yeah, they can spar many times they want.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, I call it. Well, I'm sure you guys probably have like a website and where you share all the information where you guys gonna be at with things or how is.
Right now, we only have Facebook at the moment.
Okay, Facebook.
Just search up Titan Boxing Gym.
Mhm.
Just look for us on Facebook, Titan Boxing Gym, or Instagram. Same
Yeah.
thing, Titan Boxing Gym.
Yeah, and I tell people I was linking up in the description so that would be easy for the folks to find you guys.
Yeah, and, it's we post basically everything that we have. Our events, our upcoming events, or the upcoming schedule for the competitions. We'll be taking some kids to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who do you think inspired you to actually do this? You think since you were just a boxer already, you just said, you know what, let me do this. So.
Well, I didn't really at first when I started boxing, I didn't really have interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
But then next time, my dad just put me in. Like
How old was your game when you started?
10.
10?
When I was 10.
10, damn.
Yeah, I started when I was 10. He was he just put me in a gym. He's just like, hey, clean up and get yourself dressed. We're going to a gym. I'm like, okay.
Like, Jim, why?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was a chubby kid back then. So.
Yeah.
He took us to the gym, and then That's when I saw the box. He said, I say boxing gym. I said, I thought you'd take me to a gym. And then, no, it's a boxing gym. So he took us to the boxing gym. And yeah, I fell in love with the sport, fell in love with the sport. The first day you walk into the gym, it's a different vibe, And the craziest thing is a lot of people doesn't know is that they think that boxing's easy. It's not an easier sport.
Oh yeah, but yeah, it's all about footwork too, huh?
It's all about footwork, but it's mostly discipline. And not only that, it's the most loneliest sport in the world because it's just you and your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
You got your coaches, but they just giving you the instructions. They're giving you the training methods, but when it comes to the fight night, it's just you and your opponent, nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what inspires me. But when I opened a nonprofit, what really inspires me was which is kind of horrible because like I said, I see a lot of kids out there.
Yeah.
They're doing drugs, they're doing crime and all that, and they're young kids. And unfortunately, many of the kids before I did the nonprofit, they go to the gym and they do a crime, and I just see them on Facebook with the mugshots. I'm like, dude, he's only 17, 16 or 15 years old.
Yeah.
And that's when I said, you know what, let's do the nonprofit and start Tiny Boxing Club, because back then it was Tiny Boxing Gym, it was just an LLC, and we were just basically taking guys from the streets out, but to keep it more organized and to get more funding for these kids. That's when I started the Tiny Boxing Club and Youth Organization, because, like I said, it's for the kids and keep these kids out of the streets. Because, to be honest, there's a lot of politicians or activists, quote unquote, they said, "Oh, I'm doing something for the community," but they don't do nothing for the community. They just all talk because talk is cheap.
Yeah. No, 100% I agree there.
So that's when I said, if they're not doing nothing for the kids, especially the city, then let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
And we did have a lot of kids, but unfortunately, many of the kids, they don't get enough training, or they don't get enough resources, or don't come at all, because sometimes they're scared of, like, hey, I'm living in the streets, and then if they find out I'm a boxer, then probably they might jump me or hurt me,
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, it's okay, because the point is, you're gonna be clean, you're gonna be helped, you're gonna be disciplined.
Yeah.
And that's how it is.
Yeah. So I know we're talking a little bit about the weight classes and stuff like that. So is it the weight classes is all the same, or do they change?
They do change every year.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly, especially in the Olympic years.
In the Olympic years?
Yeah.
Okay.
But every year they change it up, probably like 2 or 3 pounds.
Okay. And you told me like the age, it depends on the age as well.
Depends
too,
on
right?
the ages too. From the age 8 to 12, they probably like 5 pounds. Then from 13 to 17, they're probably like 7 pounds, 5 to 7 pounds. Once you hit 18, it's either from 7 to 15 to 20 pounds difference.
That's 20 pounds. How about heavyweight? It's like no limits.
Yeah. Once you hit the 200, you're probably finding a guy that's probably 600 pounds. So.
Oh man, what was like the biggest person you seen box? You know what I mean? Or you personally box?
The craziest time I see two people. Well, there was 2 heavyweights. They were both around the 230 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'll say more than 240s.
Oh man!
And these 2 guys, they were fighting at a tournament in Houston. And these both guys, they were huge, like sumo fighters, and
They're like George Foreman, right?
George Foreman guys.
Yeah.
But out of shape guys.
Mhm.
See how? Unfortunately, the fight had to stop because they took one step on the corner of the ring, and the ring broke.
Oh wow,
The ring broke. Yeah,
that's a great story. Then.
yeah. The ring broke. Like these both guys are putting all that weight in one side of the ring, and then it just broke. And in that tournament, they were using that one ring, because usually when it's a big tournament, they'd be having 3 or 2 rings.
Oh okay.
But they only had that one ring.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just one ring they use all the time.
Nah, well, depends in
The venue or whatever.
the venue or the event, or if it's a big tournament, yeah, they might have at least 4 to 6 rings. Or
Oh
2 rings.
yeah, I could see it. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the only ring they had, and we were like, man, and it said, "Well, for the guys that they're supposed to be competing later on, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like the officials don't even know what to do, and there's no rules about it in the rule book.
Hmm.
They had to add it after that incident.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Yeah, but also we talked about where what were we talking about? I know we were talking about something else in behind the scenes. About the weight class. Some more.
I think it was the
Oh yeah, how advantage somebody is if when they're going down to weight
oh yeah.
compared to somebody going up to
Yeah.
weight.
Unfortunately, a lot of coaches does this, and I do it too sometimes,
Hmm.
or majority of the times, because in boxing you got to be stretch. Yeah, it's also strategize your opponent
Hmm.
and your boxer too, because there's a lot of there's a lot of times boxers will go from one weight class to go to another weight down to a weight class to get that advantage point,
Hmm.
and then so they can get that fighter that was in that weight class moving to the new weight class that never been into it. They might be saying, oh, they might not hit hard, but to be
Yeah,
honest, they are.
yeah. So it's pretty much like you got one weight class here, another weight class here, and another weight class in the middle, and they're both meeting up in the middle.
Yeah,
And the guy who was heavier got the
you
advantage.
got the advantage point.
It's just
Yeah,
he's already used to getting hit harder from
Yeah,
the
they're
other
already-
people
yeah.
because
basically.
I would talk about like just I guess people who are heavy hit harder.
Yeah.
What?
Not only that,
Who would have known?
not only that, they might be taller too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because we've been seeing it a lot. Unfortunately, the bigger guy wins
Hmm.
because weight classes it's a hassle because if you can't fight in a great weight, you're not gonna be successful because sometimes you might just put with a giant and you're not gonna make it out.
Yeah. Because I told you like I'm 170 or whatever.
Yeah.
And imagine if I go fight somebody at my weight, it might be somebody who's probably 6'2", 6'3", and they're lean.
Yeah.
Got length too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, why I'm here?
Yeah, unfortunately, there's times like this. Fortunately, some of our boxers have to deal with it a lot.
Mhm.
Because they might have the muscles, but they don't have the long strength and the long arms to fight. Because a lot of the boxers now these days they would try to fight from the outside,
Mhm.
not how they used to be back then. Fighting, brawling each other the whole time.
Yeah. So if you're a little guy, you will have to be really slick just
Yeah.
to get in.
Yeah, just to get in.
Yeah, just get in. Just body shots, I guess.
Yeah, body shots. That's the most important punch in boxing, the body shot,
Hmm.
but also the jab, but mostly the body shot because you're just shutting them down easily.
Yeah. And I think it's like the critical part is like where you hit somebody's like the liver area. Is it that
Yeah,
true? Okay.
liver area.
Where is the like
Right
this,
here.
right there?
Right here. Is
Okay.
it here or right here in the solar plate?
Okay.
That's
So I know I've seen some like people teaching other people boxing or whatever, and they say, okay, you gotta hold your hand right here, you protect your face right here, or something like that. So make sure you just kind of stay in that position a lot of times because
Yeah,
you don't want to get hit right there.
that's the worst punch you get hit with. I mean, I've been dropped many times with that liver shot, and
Mhm.
I'm telling you, it's the worst thing than getting hit in your nuts.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's way worse.
I don't want to find out. I seen this little one clip where it was a box. I think it was a boxing match, or I forgot what match it was. But the guy got hit in the liver. He said, but he faked it. He was just, oh man. So the other guy said, oh, I got him in the liver. Let me go ahead and finish it. Then he's about to go and turn him. And the guy, psych.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it was a UFC fight.
Okay.
Yeah, I seen that a lot. I think majority of the fighters does that for some reason. They do
Yeah.
that. They like, oh, I gotta pretend. Matter of fact, yesterday we had a kid.
Hmm.
He was faking that he got hurt,
Yeah.
and then the other person would come in, bang.
Yeah.
That's how it was
Hey,
yesterday.
it's a mind game too, right?
It's a mind game. Yeah, boxing's a mind game too. So
It's like poker, guys. You don't have to have the best hand. You just gotta know how to fool the other
yeah,
people.
yeah. Basically, you try to get the mindset to the opponent. I mean, and especially also in the amateurs too.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you might meet up your opponent face to face sometime before your fight,
Mm-hmm.
and especially in these big tournaments because they do it for the show.
Yeah.
And I would always tell a fighter like, hey, don't have mercy on them. Don't have mercy because at the end of the day, they're gonna try and knock you out too. So
Yeah. And how, we're talking about the height difference or whatever. Do you guys, when you guys see two people fighting there, You guys already know. Okay, this guy, since he got the advantage, he's automatically gonna win. Or
Yeah.
you guys think, or are surprised if the little guy wins.
Yeah, that's yeah, we sometimes when we see fights, we like, yeah, this guy will win, or
Mm.
maybe he might bring the upset because you can tell when by the face of the boxer and the fighting stance he has, and then after the first round
Mm-hmm.
or the first 30 seconds of the first round, you say, okay, yeah, he's going to win. He's going to take this fight because you can't judge the fighter just like that. You got to see what his plan is, what's his game plan, what his strategy,
Mm-hmm.
what he's connecting with, how or even how's his body,
Yeah.
because we have I see a lot of boxers that they don't have the perfect body. They might be just lumpy and all,
Mm-hmm.
and they be fighting with guys who are buff.
Mm-hmm.
And you already know how it goes.
Yeah, but I remember a while back ago, wasn't there a big Mexican boxer?
Andy Ruiz.
I wasn't. I forgot his name, but he won championship against a guy who was actually lean and stuff like that. I was like,
Anthony Joshua.
yeah, like what happened? I don't know. It just happened, you know.
Yeah, and that's the worst part. With Andy Ruiz could have won the second fight,
Hmm.
and that's what the worst thing to get you: money or fame.
Yeah,
In boxing, they pay you a lot of money, and the next you know, the fame gets to you during the rematch. He haven't even trained a single day
on the first match or the second
on
match?
the second
On
match.
the match, the second one.
He haven't trained for the second match.
You like got train a little bit.
Nah, he ain't trained nothing.
That's crazy.
And throughout the training camp, he'd be like, "Yeah, I'll train probably for 15 minutes," and he goes party. And in the other side of the world, Joshua, the heavyweight, the former champion, he'd be training his ass off.
Hmm.
So, and you know the story. Joshua got his belt back, and
Yeah.
Reese went down again.
Yeah, but everybody was so surprised when that happened. You're like, wow, what happened?
Cockiness. That's
Yeah.
what happened. That's what happened with the cockiness because Joshua was thinking like, "Oh, look at this guy."
Yeah.
And,
So I know you told us a couple of like crazy stories, but do you have one that's like really out there in the world of boxing?
I'm the craziest story in boxing. I'll say, I think that has to be in senior Golden Gloves in I think it was 2019. There was a brawl against two guys. They think that they're
Like,
going
during the fight or
during the fight. There's one guy, I don't know who he was because we were just watching the Golden Gloves, because we would like to support
Mhm.
these tournaments because these are big tournaments that people miss out, but we support because of the fighters. And unfortunately, there's times where people think like, oh, I'm him, the I'm him energy because they be winning street fights, but boxing is a different game.
Yeah, you got rules,
Yeah.
and everything like that.
And unfortunately, I guess some guy he thinks that he can was boxing in a Golden Gloves tournament, and he was not following the rules. He was hitting the opponent low, uh, was also slapping his punches instead of hitting it with the knuckle because unfortunately you can't slap in boxing.
Maybe you can't slap
Slap,
slap in the face.
yeah, slap.
Okay, hey, so it has to
It has to be
be.
the knuckle.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because of what? Yeah, because if not, they're not going to score a point. They're not going to score a point.
Hmm.
And sometimes the glove, they're made with materials that can cut you easily.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and so that's what he was doing. He was also being dirty, and I guess the referee got fed up with it, and he disqualified the guy. And then unfortunately, the boxer, the dirty boxer, came to the referee, slapped the shit out of him,
What? Man, the referee probably what the.
and they were both going at it, and they were both going at it. Everybody has to go inside to stop the fight. But that's not the craziest part. The craziest part is the doctor, who was a USA boxing doctor. He's like 80 something years old, old man, try to come into the ring, trying to fight one of these guys.
You have to fire on him, you know what I mean?
I mean, and this doctor he's something else because he's not one of those doctors that actually check you out really good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say his name because everybody might know who he is.
Okay. He's
Uh,
well known, I guess, in the boxing world.
he's really well known. What he does is that, like, okay, I'm time to take your physical because every time before you fight, you gotta do a pre-physical,
Mhm.
and then he'd be like, "That's it. You just turn on his flashlight, put it in your eyes, say, okay, you good." That's how he is.
Mhm.
But this is the same guy who trying to fight with some 20-year-old man.
Hey, well, I guess once you get a certain age, you
Yeah,
already like,
so-
man, you know what? I could take him.
But he need assistance to get into the ring.
Yeah. Oh, that'd been funny.
Yeah, but I think that's got to be the wildest thing because, unfortunately, that guy, a dirty boxer, he actually had to go to jail.
Really?
Yeah, and he was charged for assault, and I think he had to do 2 years.
Wow.
2 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah, 2 years.
Mm. Yeah, but it's always kind of weird. Or not weird, but it's kind of funny. I want to say when the person, let's say, if he's all tatted up and they get, they're the cocky one, behaves or just disrespect his opponent,
Yeah.
and then but in the ring, different story.
Oh yeah, that's a different story. Like back we were talking about the mindsets of
Mhm.
boxers are trying to, play the mind game. The opponent sometimes they do too much. Yeah, it's okay to talk, but you can't talk too much because you don't know who's your opponent is.
Mm-hmm.
Because I see it a lot, especially in the pro fights and the amateurs too, but mostly in the pros. You see all these, like you said, mention tattooed up guys. Talking so much crap, and then next you know, gets knocked out.
You get knocked out. Yeah,
Gets
like
knocked
what
out.
happened?
Fortunately, that's how it is, because and then probably the opponent would be like, oh, that's basically putting more fuel in the fire.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, they want to be the next O'Connor McGregor or whatever. They
Oh,
they
yeah.
talk a lot of mess, or even the is it Floyd Mayweather? I
Floyd
don't know.
Mayweather?
Yeah, he talked a lot of noise or whatever. And I don't know. His boxing style, he was good, like being defensive, right?
Oh, yeah,
He was
yeah.
good on that. But other than that, if you know that's his boxing style, so his boxing matches weren't that interesting. I want to say.
Yeah, and that's the worst part with today's boxing, is that there's a lot of casual fans.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of casual fans in boxing. Like for me, I'm a hardcore boxing fan. Sometimes when I go to see fights, yeah, sometimes they might not throw punches, but at the end of the day, when you look at the defense, if you look at the offense
Mm-hmm.
in boxing, uh, it's amazing. You see the skills that they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, a lot of people don't watch a lot of professional boxers because they just 1-2 and they move around the ring. Then again, 1-2 hook, move around the ring. People think, oh, it's boring, but for us, we're like, that's amazing
Mm-hmm.
what he's doing because he's getting hit and not getting hit. He's hitting and not getting hit.
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of boxing. That's why they call it the sweet science because you're just you're just using your skills. The skills that
Yeah,
that-
if you really don't know boxing, you really don't know what's really going on.
yeah, you don't even know what's going on.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm kind of like ignorant in boxing too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I may see a little bit, but other than that, hey, just two guys hitting themselves.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah, unfortunately, but the worst part with the casual boxing fans is that, especially when the boxing quits, a lot of most of the casual ones be like, "Oh, he's a quitter," and unfortunately for me, I don't like when somebody say that, "Oh, he quit," or "He's a quitter," because m- sometimes the referees or the boxers themselves or the coaches save them for another day.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of deaths going on in boxing, and I think recently I think there was a male boxer from Africa passed away in the professional boxing world because was taking too much hits, but he didn't want to be labeled as a quitter.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, that's what that's what I really hate about the
Yeah.
casual fans.
We talked about like you could get concussion by getting hit in the back
Back
that
in the
region. Yeah,
Or sometimes just getting hit in the head as well.
yeah,
Yeah, that's the worst part. Because and especially some of the boxers, they drain themselves to make weight, and they only got like 24 hours, or sometimes not even 24 hours, probably like 12 hours or an hour to
Mhm.
rehydrate themselves.
yeah. Because a lot of people like get very dehydrated, right?
Yeah, and unfortunately, when you get hit too much in the head,
Mm-hmm.
it's just game over.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what the worst part with casual fans is. They think they know so much,
Mm-hmm.
they don't know. Like the great Roger Mayweather, he said that there's a lot of people that don't know shit about boxing,
Mhm.
and you can tell. And I'm like, yeah, I respect that because there's a lot of people that don't know
Yeah.
because they don't know they don't know how it feels to get hit.
Yeah.
Uh, they don't know how the struggle is for a boxer.
Yeah. Especially the with boxing gloves or even MMA when they wear the little mitts or whatever.
Yeah.
They're there so you could hit harder. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
pretty much you're protecting your hands, so that way you more encouraged to go harder, right?
Yeah. Basically, have you watched the bare knuckle fights? Yeah.
No, I mean I saw Fight Club.
Yeah, Fight Club, yeah. There's the new sport called bare knuckle boxing, and they did a study one time saying that fighting bare knuckle is more safer than fighting in MMA gloves or boxing gloves because of the leather.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, it turns out true.
Yeah,
The leathers of the gloves are more impactful than using your knuckles.
yeah, because like I said, I think you could put more force
Yeah,
in
more
there because
force.
you're not more worried to break your hand or anything
Yeah.
because you got that cushion.
Yeah.
So I always like asking my guests this: where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, probably one, uh, I'll say, of course, graduate from Lamar University and
Mhm.
probably start up my startup companies that I've been working on for a while and keep coaching for these kids.
Yeah,
That's one thing I don't want to let go. Coach these kids.
yeah. And is that all you're gonna do, coaching? You're not gonna get back in the ring?
Um, Still thinking about it. Still
Yeah.
thinking about
Are you gonna be like Mike Tyson? I don't know. I don't want the fire to burn up on me again. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna end up with my cheeks showing on Netflix. The cup.
Mm-hmm.
With Mike Tyson cheeks shows up. So
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, that's crazy right there because what I call like I don't know, maybe one day you might just say, you know what, I got the fire back
Yeah.
on and just I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I
You're
mean,
just still young, man. Come on,
Yeah.
man. You're 24, man. Yeah,
yeah,
you're still young. Like I said, my son is 21, so hey, you got the whole world right there
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah. But do you see yourself at least training, I guess, yourself as well too? But you say you spar as well too
Yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
okay.
That's why we see kids. Yeah,
Yeah, because what I call yeah, like I said, I want to do something like that, kickboxing or boxing, whatever, something just to kind of get out of the
yeah,
drifting instead of going to gym or something. Because I catch myself just doing regular weights all the time,
right.
and then sometimes I tell myself, well, maybe I need to just do some burpees and cardio, which I mean I do just walk the treadmills or whatever. I get my steps in, but doing it like boxing type of cardio is a whole lot different than just walking.
Yeah, it's a whole different ball game. Yeah, you see people that they're good at cardio, but once they hit the ring, it's a different ball game.
Yeah, business is all about footwork, right?
Yeah,
And
footwork, strength also.
yeah,
But you'll be using a lot of your energy.
yeah. So do you believe if what I call it if you're good in dancing, would that help you in boxing?
Oh yes.
Oh, that I'll be horrible then.
Yeah. There's this one world champion, Vasily Lomachenko.
Mm-hmm.
He's a two-time Olympian champion, and he's a world champion at this moment. His dad, I think he made him stop boxing for 2 years and go to dance class. And you see him today, the beautiful footwork he does.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the
You're
beautiful.
like so
footwork.
wow,
Wow.
beautiful.
It's so beautiful. You
Yeah.
just can't catch him.
Yeah. Well, what did he went to go for dancing then? What kind of songs or like salsa,
I think
merengue, or something?
he was Ukrainian, so I think he
Okay.
had to do a Ukrainian dance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might need to research that up.
I never researched it, but all I know, he just stopped for like 2 years just to go dancing. I was like,
Yeah.
interesting.
Because I know I have heavy foot where I'm not light in my feet, so
Oh yeah,
that's something I definitely gonna need to work on. Who knows? Maybe I might need to start jumping around just to kind of feel it and get used to it.
Yeah, you do need a lot of footwork in boxing. Boxing is it's if you don't got no feet, yes,
Yeah.
just to step out.
Yeah. Make sure you have good feet and a good knee.
Yeah.
Because it is true that if you have to turn your body right a little
Yeah,
bit,
yeah,
so
there's-
you will need knee power or whatever.
Yeah, you need bend. Well, majority of the times you got to bend your knees the whole fight.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, to keep yourself balanced, and also because when you pivot with your punches. Yeah.
Yeah, damn. It's gonna suck for me. Well, we'll see. Like I said, I still see myself as well. I see myself as young, but I don't know about my body. Yeah, but do you have any last words for the viewers?
I just want to say, anybody's welcome to the gym. Um, there's there's no need to hide. I don't, it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter if you if you're in shape or not. We will get you to the right path. Because boxing is for everybody. Everybody likes to fight.
Mhm.
So come on down, and we will help you out. We will get you the right path. Heck, we can get you started with starting a career with boxing.
Mhm.
A lot of people would like to box.
Mhm.
If they like to fight in school, why don't you fight something in reality for boxing? Win a
Yeah,
trophy or a belt.
yeah. Here's the question: what if somebody is not really 100% sure if they want to just try it, even like for a day? Do you guys offer that?
Yeah, we offer something like that.
Okay, that'd be
We
cool.
do offer something like that because I understand some people that don't they want to start it off and after that they don't have the energy or they don't feel it.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why we do sometimes trials.
Okay,
Like one day trials, see like how they feel.
yeah. So, but when is the next fight that you guys gonna have?
Um, I'm hopefully trying to get these guys to match up. Probably in June 21st in Houston,
Hmm.
and then from there, I guess we're gonna be competing every weekend.
Okay. Hey, over here in Golfway, right?
No, in Houston,
Oh, you see?
we're going to different places now. So,
Oh, okay.
and these are official fights. So we're going to be taking them, of course, in Texas, Louisiana.
Yeah. 21st, you see?
hmm
On Saturday night?
Saturday, well, Saturday day.
The Saturday day?
Mhm.
Okay. Because I was gonna say, I'm actually gonna probably be there for my birthday.
Oh, okay.
So, well, I don't know. I was trying to see if I could make it or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to try to get these guys matched. I'm trying to find them a fight opponent and see if they can get a fight that day. Because, usually it gets a little bit hard to find matches these days to make them fight these days. Because, they got to find the perfect fighter.
Hmm.
All the rosters that all these other gyms will be sending to that host.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a little
Yeah.
bit difficult.
I mean, like, just like even with this podcast, it's always hard to find a guest or willing to come down. You know what I mean? Same boat right here.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, so yeah, we're going to get these kids ready because, they've been training for a while now. I think the last time they fought was in March.
Hmm.
But I'll try to get them active, and especially since it's the summer, so
Mhm.
I know these guys got nothing else to do. So
Yeah.
tell them, hey, we're going to be competing every weekend.
Yeah.
So
Are you guys always gonna be going out of town, or are you guys gonna ever compete again here?
probably out of town, mostly out of town.
Okay, so mostly it's gonna be like here, just sparring or
Yeah,
training.
here sparring wise, but every weekend we might go, or sometimes when there's no competition dates, we go out of town to get some sparring done too.
Okay,
So yeah,
you guys just contact other
Yeah.
boxing clubs and
yeah,
ask them.
we contact them, be like, hey, hey, you don't mind? We want to bring some of our fighters to get some sparring. And I'm like, yeah, yeah. And that's the beautiful thing about boxing, because a lot of people thinking that boxing gyms are they're terror they're marking their territory or they're not getting along with it together. No, every boxing club in here in Texas or basically everywhere in the United States,
Mhm.
they get along.
Yeah, because you want other fighters to fight other fighters because
Yeah.
that way they could learn from each other.
They learn from each other. So
Mhm.
yeah, so we do get along with a lot of gyms,
Mhm.
but unfortunately, uh, right now amateur boxing is kind of dying at this point. But we're here to keep it alive and keep strong because unfortunately, a lot of gyms in Houston, especially in our region,
Mhm.
I think last year there was about 100, 140 gyms. Now this year there's only about 87.
Oh wow, that's a big difference right there.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, and unfortunately because of the funding, you know,
Okay.
yeah, funding wise, and to the viewers out there, um, if you got if you got anybody who would like to help us out, or businesses or anything out that can help us out, donations, because that's what keeping us the lights open, the doors open,
Yeah,
the
like
lights on.
sponsorship, just
Yeah.
getting you guys out there. Which that's why I'm glad you guys coming here. So that way, I'll put you guys out
Yeah.
there, and hopefully, my people sees this, and then hey, they might want to go join.
Yeah, because like I said, that's the only way we're keeping our doors open, and especially for the kids, because we're doing this for the kids. We're not doing it for the profit and everything. We're doing it for the kids, and for these kids to get a good life, because some of our kids, they've been they've been through the tough lives.
Mhm.
So they're not one of those kids that they get weak easily or get offended by easily. You know, you can call them the nastiest words in the world. They don't get offended by it.
Yeah, that's good. You know.
Yeah, these kids are tough. But like I said, we're trying to keep these kids out of the streets and either make a career in boxing or continue with their education, because that's the two options they got.
Mm-hmm.
That's the two options they got, because we don't want these kids to be get their lives ruined.
Yeah.
So any viewers out there, come by, help us out, or come by to the gym and look what we're doing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, some people, some activists or people say they're doing it for the kids. They don't. Talk is cheap, but we're doing something for it.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
All right, guys. You guys remember, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. And if you guys do have a chance, go ahead and visit Ernesto at Titan, well, I'll call it Titan Gym. Okay, well, not Titan Gym. Titan Boxing Gym. All right, guys. All right, show some love, right? And make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Peace out. Bye.
Breaking news or cool interviews, we keep it real, no scripted cues. From wild debates to heartfelt tales, strap in tight, this train never derails. We bring the vibes, the beats won't stop. Tune in now, we rise to the top. Laugh, cry, shout, feel every drop. This podcast here is cream.